Good morning, class. Today we are on Section Book 4, Lesson 51, and we have a couple skills today. We will be adding numbers that have more than 3 digits, and we'll be checking one-digit division. Okay, so basically if we're adding numbers with more than 3 digits, it's not any different than adding numbers with 3 digits. We still line up the place values, we add the ones, we add the tens, we add the hundreds, and then we move on and add the thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s, etc. So our first example this morning is a word problem. It says a park ranger used a measuring wheel to find the length of trails in the park. 2 routes to a lake from the campground measured 43,287 feet and 68,595 feet. If a hiker takes one route to the lake and takes the other route back to the campground, then the round trip is how many feet? So let's say he goes this way to get to the lake, then he goes this way to get back to the campground from the lake. We have to add them together to find the total distance for the round trip. So like I said, same thing as if we were just adding the 3-digit numbers. We start with the ones. What is 7 plus 5? 12. Carry my 10. What is 8 tens plus 9 tens plus 1 10? Well, I'm going to make a 10 first. 9 and 1 is 10, plus 8 is 18 tens, and I carry the 100. Now, 500s plus 200s plus 100, 5, 6, 7, 8. 800s, and I have nothing to carry. So now I go to my thousands column. What is 3 thousands plus 8 thousands? That's going to be 11 thousands, and I have to carry a 10,000 over to that column. Now 6 10,000s plus 4 10,000s plus 1 10,000. 6 and 4 is 10, plus 1 is 11. I would carry over here, but since I don't have any digits, I can just put my 11 right there, okay? Now I want to fill in a comma. That's going to make it easier to read this. Every 3 digits, starting at the ones place, we get a comma. And my units here, we're talking about feet. So the park ranger had to go 111,882 feet. And that's the end. Oh, excuse me, let me get my eraser over here. All right, so our next example, we're going to add several numbers together. In this one, Dale bought a used pickup truck for his business for $4,950. And we've got money and our comma, okay? The taxes and registration cost $483. So notice I'm lining up my ones, my tens, my hundreds. This number here doesn't have anything in the thousands place. Then Dale paid $525 to have a toolbox installed in the bed of his truck. Again, I lined up ones, tens, and hundreds. The tax on the toolbox was $37. This number doesn't have any hundreds, so I lined up my ones and my tens. All right, finally, Dale is done spending money on his truck. The question says, altogether, that's an addition word, altogether, how much did Dale spend? So we add, and the same as before, we're going to add all of our ones. So we have 0 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7. I look at my 3 and 7 and say, I can make a 10. 10 plus 5 is 15. Carry my 10 there. Now I'm looking at this big long column. Can I make any 10s? How about 8 and 2? 8 and 2. Here's what I like to do on my paper. I want to cross them out after I've used them. If I have a whole lot of numbers that I'm adding and I'm making 10s, I cross out the numbers that I've added together already so that I make sure I don't add them a second time. So 8 and 2 gives me 10, 15, cross that one out. 15 plus 3 is 18, and 18 plus 1, 19. So I have my answer, and I carry that one, or carry the 100 because it's in the hundreds place. Now I can make a 10 here. 9 and 1 give me 10, 15, 19, carry the 1,000, and notice I don't have any other thousands here, so it's just 4 plus 1 is 5. Dale spent $5,995 on his truck. All right, the second skill that was put together with this lesson is checking division. So if we have the problem 12 divided by 3, and we've said, I think that's 4. The way we check our answer is we take the answer that we got, we multiply it times the divisor. So when you're using the house system, I like to put a little multiplication sign right there to remind me, oh, I'm doing this number times this number. And what is 3 times 4? 3 times 4 is 12. If my answer to the multiplication problem here matches my dividend inside the house, it tells me, oh, I did that correctly. I've checked my work, I've checked my answer. So let's try 2 more examples like this. Let's say we have 18 divided by 3. What is 18 divided by 3? I think it's 5. So I put a 5 up here. And then I'm going to check my work because I want to make sure I'm correct. So I say 3 times 5, and I'm going to count by 5s instead of 3s. 5, 10, 15. Uh-oh. I only got 15. This does not match the dividend inside the house, so that tells me that my division answer here is not correct. It's wrong, so I have to try again. So it was too small because 5 times 3 was only 15, and I need to get the whole way to 18. So I'm going to try a bigger number. Let's say it's 6. Now I do 6 times 3, or 3 times 6. Let's count by 6s. 6, 12, 18. Yes. Now I've checked my answer and I am correct. Okay, our last example is 32 divided by 4. 32 divided by 4. Well, I know 4 times 5 is 20. That's way too low. Let's see. What about 4 times 7? That's 28. That's still too low. Let's try 8. And we'll check it by saying, what is 8 times 4? You could count by 8s, and if I had all my multiplication facts memorized like I do, I probably would count by 8s. But I know some of you struggle with the 8s, so instead let's count by 4s, because it'll get us to the same answer, okay? 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32. 8 times 4 is 32. We're correct. So my division problem has the right answer of 8. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I have a couple lesson practice problems that I want you to try and then hit pause. Once I get these up on the board, hit pause, do them on your own, and when you're ready to go over the answers, we will do them together. There's the first one. There's the second one. And then here, the division problems, I want you to show that you've checked your answer as well. Okay, here's your lesson practice problems. Try them out, hit pause. When you're ready to see the answers, hit play, and we'll do them together. All right, problem number 1 here. We're adding our ones place first. So 6 plus 4 gives me 10. 5 plus 4 plus 1 also gives me 10. 6 plus 3 plus 1, another 10. And 5 plus 4 plus 1, one final 10. So I put my comma in there and we have the answer of 10,000. All right, take a look at this one. Do we want to add it like that? No way. I'm going to rewrite it. So I'm going to move my 42 divided by 7 over here so that I have space to line up my place values and add my numbers. So let's start with the biggest one, and I'll move 436 underneath it, and then I'll move 88 underneath that, and I'm just looking at those 3 numbers there. So 6 plus 4 gives me 10. 10 plus 8 is 18. 8, 9, 10 plus 3 gives me 13. 7 plus 4 is 11. 11 plus 1 gives me 12. And 5 plus 1 is 6. So we have 6,238 as our answer. All right, let's take a look at these division problems. I am more interested in, did you check your work with multiplication, than what your answer is. So I know that 21 divided by 3 gives me 7. But what I want to see on your paper is that you also wrote 7 times 3 is 21 to show that you've checked your answer. You could have flip-flopped it and done 3 times 7 as well. It's the same thing. Okay, what about 42 divided by 7? I know that that one's 6, but what I want to see on your paper is that you wrote 7 times 6 equals 42, so that you checked your answer for this one as well. All right, if you are in my class, you need to finish the lesson practice. These were 4 problems from the lesson practice. It was problem A, D, F, and G. If you're my student, you're going to be seeing me in person later. You also need to do B, C, E, and H, and we'll go over those answers together in person in class. After that, you can start your written practice, which begins on page 328. The lesson practice is also on page 328. I hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.